that this shit not gonna.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. This is another episode of Album Mode. If you're listening to us for the first time, we review a new album every single week. We look at the lyrics, the production, the overall aesthetic of the album, and how that album fits into the context of that artist's career. My name is Adriel Smiley, aka AdrielSmiley.com, aka Adriel Smiley Official, aka The Godfather, and we are here with His Royal Highness King Grant.
What's happening, people? We're back. This time it's with the boy. And 21 Savage as well. This time it's Her Loss. We're back. Collab album, baby. Drake, one of the people who likes collab albums, which is really cool, especially being one of the most popular artists on the face of the planet.
Yeah.
Be working with other people, openly collaborating, be like, yo, jump on this, let's do this. I think that's awesome. But I just say this right now. This feels like a Drake album featuring 21 Savage more than it's like Drake and 21 Savage. Like, this is not even close.
Listen, I don't want to do this so early, but the first thing in my notes is that we are calling this a Drake album. Everyone, when you ask them if they listen to it, have you heard the Drake album, listen to the Drake album, even in my car, it just says Rich Flex, Drake, Her Loss.
Yeah.
As 21 Savage had nothing to do with it. So, well, we got to go into this album talking about that, and that is something that has to be said from the jump. Where everyone calling this a Drake album. Yes, it's technically a collab album for sure, but it is, more or less a Drake album. And so that's how we're going into it. I think it makes sense to kind of go back a couple of years and see where these guys are both in their careers leading up to this point. Drake's last album, Honestly Nevermind,
which I liked tacitly. I was above average on it.
No, I think you gave it 6.5, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I liked it more than most people.
No, people really hated that album. I thought that was overblown. That album was, earlier in this year, June of this year. Before that, Certified Lover Boy in 2021, reviewed that as well.
Yeah, I was a little bit lower on that one than most people.
Yeah, no, Certified Lover Boy was probably the Drake album I listened to the least. I didn't go back to that album often. There was, even Scorpion, which I didn't love as well, had a couple of songs on there for me that I might play that one song over and over again. Certified Lover Boy didn't really have that for me. So Drake, that's kind of his past few albums leading up to this. 21 Savage has been more of on an upward trajectory.
Yep.
Without Warning, with him and Offset in 2017. That's probably one of the best collab albums ever put together, at least of this era. And so, thinking about this as a Drake album, this might not even be 21 Savage's best collab album.
Right.
Thinking about Without Warning, I Am Greater Than I Was.
That was sick.
That was his breakout. That was his breakout album. I think that was for me, at least, when I was like, okay, he's not one of the Lils. He's kind of grown up. I'm a huge Offset fan, so Without Warning, as much as 21 Savage did his thing, I was like, listen, if I did a project where Offset is gonna slap. So I was kind of not giving him as much credit. I Am Greater Than I Was. You're right. That is kind of his breakout, where everything grew from there, and he became kind of established as one of the top rappers.
Yeah, he became a fixture.
Whenever he drops, Savage Mode 2 is his last project.
Oh, Savage Mode.
We love Savage Mode 2. I think that was in both our top 10s of the year whenever that came out.
It was like number 3 or 4.
I would say that was probably the top 3 rap albums of the year for us.
Yeah,
both. So yeah, we love Savage Mode 2. So coming to this project, even though it is a Drake project, 21 Savage has been putting out, I would say, better music than Drake over the last 2 years. And I think that's something we got to, again, come into this project with, knowing that. We're calling this a Drake album because he's mostly all over it. You wrote a story in Toronto Star where you mentioned that how much Drake is on the cover of 21 Savage.